Let me ask you something simple, but I want you to really think about it. How many of you wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep? I'm not talking about an occasional restless night. I'm talking about waking up feeling like you've barely slept at all, even after spending hours in bed. I know, as we get older, it's easy to think, well, this is just what aging feels like. That maybe the fatigue, the grogginess, the mental fog, well, it's just part of growing older. But what if I told you, it's not just aging? What if the very place you're supposed to rest, your bedroom, could be making you feel worse? Here's the shocking discovery that might change the way you look at your own sleep. A recent study took older adults and placed them in two rooms, one with natural light and the other completely dark, no windows, no light. What they found was startling. Those exposed to natural light in the morning, even just through a window, woke up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready for the day. But those who were kept in the dark room, without sunlight, woke up groggy, disoriented, and mentally foggy. Their sleep quality was severely impacted, even though they were technically in bed for the same amount of time. And here's the thing, many of us older adults are unknowingly living in that dark room. Not because we want to, but because the very things in our bedrooms, the things we've lived with for years, are quietly affecting our sleep and our health. Think about it. How many of you have things in your bedroom that seem harmless, things you've had for years, that could actually be harming your health? I'm about to tell you about Ellena. She's 72 years old, sharp and full of life. But lately, she'd been waking up tired every single day. She thought it was just age catching up with her. But when she took a closer look at her bedroom, she made a shocking discovery. What she uncovered could be affecting your health, too. Stay with me, because the changes Ellena made could transform how you feel every single day. And trust me, what she discovered in her bedroom might be more common than you think. If this is hitting home for you, if you're starting to wonder if these hidden sleep stealers are affecting your own health, subscribe and share this video. You never know, it could help someone you care about who's been struggling with the same thing. Now, let's dive into the first discovery Ellena made in her bedroom that changed everything for her health and her sleep. Now, think about this for a moment. How old is your pillow? A year? 2? 5? Maybe it's that pillow you've had for years, the one that feels so soft and comforting. The one you've trusted to cradle your head every night. We all think pillows are harmless, right? But what if I told you that pillow isn't just soft? It's collecting dust, sweat, oils from your skin, and yes, even mold. You see, pillows don't just hold your head, they hold on to everything. Everything we shed as we sleep, dead skin cells, oils, sweat. Over time, these little things build up and create a perfect environment for dust mites and bacteria to thrive. And that's not just an inconvenience, it's a health issue. Ellena's pillow had been with her for over 5 years. It felt soft, sure. But after looking closer, she realized it was a breeding ground for allergens. Things she'd never even thought about. And it wasn't just her, it's something many seniors deal with without even realizing it. She'd been waking up with a stuffy nose, mild headaches, and sometimes even a scratchy throat. But she hadn't connected the dots. She hadn't realized her pillow was the culprit. And here's the problem. Pillows, especially the ones that are older than 2 years, can silently affect your health. You might not even notice it at first, but over time, the symptoms add up. The allergies, the lack of energy, the headaches that won't go away. It can all be traced back to your pillow. Imagine waking up with clear sinuses, better skin, and actually feeling like you've rested. All because you made the simple change of swapping out that old pillow for something cleaner and hypoallergenic. But wait, that's not the only thing Ellena found lurking in her bedroom. And what she uncovered next might be even more surprising. Now I want you to think about something for a moment, something most of us overlook. It's the space under your bed. You know, that dark, forgotten corner where we shove things we don't really want to deal with. Maybe it's old boxes, extra shoes, or things you're holding onto for just in case. But what if I told you that space, quiet, hidden, and often out of sight, could be playing a silent role in your fatigue, your allergies, and even your mood? That space could be making you sick. You see, Ellena never thought twice about the clutter under her bed. It was easy to forget, out of sight and out of mind. But one day, she decided to clean out that space. And when she did, she was shocked by what she found. It wasn't just a few dust bunnies. It was dust, mold, bacteria. The kind of stuff that makes it hard to breathe, drains your energy, and leaves you feeling sluggish. Here's the problem. Dust mites, mold spores, and even stale air accumulate underneath the bed, and with each breath you take, it rises up into the room. You might not notice it consciously, but your body does. And every night you breathe it in, you're putting stress on your sinuses, your lungs, and your immune system. And remember, as we age, our bodies aren't as resilient. We might think it's just the weather making us feel stuffed up, but it's likely that hidden space beneath your bed that's making your body fight harder than it needs to. Ellena woke up with a dry throat, congestion, and a sense of fatigue she couldn't shake. She blamed it on the season. Maybe it was just allergies. But then she realized. She hadn't cleaned under her bed in years. What if that was the problem? What if the clutter had been silently poisoning her air, and she had no idea? So she did something simple. She cleared it out. Every box, every bag. She vacuumed thoroughly. She opened the window and let the fresh air pour in. And just like that, she noticed a difference. Her mornings felt clearer. She could breathe easier. Her energy returned. But here's the thing. Cleaning under the bed isn't just about tidying up. It's about more than just the dust. It's about your space, your sanctuary. Because clutter doesn't just affect your lungs. It affects your mind. When you let clutter pile up, especially in the place where you're supposed to rest, it keeps your mind from truly relaxing. It's like living with a subtle weight hanging over you. Even if you don't consciously notice it, your brain can feel it. And that's the key to better sleep. Clean space equals a clearer mind. But what about the things you've been breathing in while you sleep? What about the air itself? What about the toxic smells in your bedroom that you think are harmless? Stay with me. What I'm about to tell you about those air fresheners and candles you think are making your room smell nice might just blow your mind. Before we get to the next thing Ellena found hiding in her bedroom, I want to make sure you don't miss a single detail. And stay tuned, because when we get to the toxic fragrances in your bedroom, that's when things get really interesting. By now, you've seen how simple things in your bedroom, the pillow, the clutter, can be quietly stealing your health. But here's the next thing most people never even consider. Those candles you love to light at night. The air fresheners you think are making your room smell so good. The plugins that promise a fresh, clean scent, or the sprays you use before bed to set the mood. It all sounds harmless, doesn't it? We associate those smells with peace, with calm, with relaxation. After all, who doesn't love walking into a room that smells like lavender or vanilla? But what if I told you those sweet, calming smells could be making you sick? Yes, you heard that right. The very fragrances you trust to relax you could be harming your body more than you know. Let me ask you this. Have you ever woken up in the morning with a scratchy throat, a headache, or a stuffy nose, and you don't know why? It's easy to blame the weather or allergies. But sometimes, the true cause is far closer than we realize. Ellena had always loved lighting candles before bed. Lavender, vanilla, jasmine. She thought it helped her relax, setting a peaceful mood for sleep. But after learning more about how air fresheners and scented candles work, she realized something shocking. Many of those products, especially the ones that promise long-lasting scents, contain something called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. These are chemicals that can irritate your lungs, your eyes, your sinuses, and even disrupt your hormones. Now, you might be thinking, but it's just a candle. It's just a little spray. How bad can it really be? The truth is, these chemicals don't just disappear when the scent fades. They linger. And as they linger, they seep into the air, into your bedding, your furniture, and most dangerously, into your lungs. Breathing them in night after night puts a strain on your respiratory system. It gets worse. For seniors, especially, prolonged exposure to these chemicals has been linked to issues like headaches, dizziness, and even exacerbating asthma or sinus problems. Ellena never connected the dots between her headaches and the candles she'd been lighting for years. But once she stopped using them and switched to more natural alternatives, like essential oils in a diffuser, something changed. She woke up feeling clearer. Her sinuses weren't as congested. She felt like she could finally breathe again. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about candles. Air fresheners? Same story. Those plugins that you think are making your room smell clean? They're full of chemicals too. And when you're constantly breathing those chemicals in while you sleep, well, you're not just hurting your respiratory system. You're also putting your sleep quality at risk. You can replace those candles with essential oils, things like lavender, eucalyptus, or peppermint. You can use a simple diffuser to purify the air, instead of introducing harmful chemicals into your space. You can even embrace nature with air-purifying plants, things like aloe vera, snake plants, or peace lilies, who not only clean the air but also release oxygen while you sleep. I'm going to reveal what Ellena discovered next. It was in her bedroom, right in front of her. But she never thought to question it, until now. It wasn't just what she was breathing in, It was what was blocking her from breathing freely. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you, your curtains. You see, a lot of people think dark, heavy curtains are the best way to get a good night's sleep. They block out street lights, car headlights, even the early morning sun. But here's where it gets interesting. Those curtains you trust to block out light might actually be blocking something much more important than just the sun. Our bodies are incredibly in tune with nature. We've been wired this way for thousands of years. As the sun rises, it sends a signal to our brain that it's time to wake up. That sunlight, even if it's just a little peeking through the window, tells your body to stop producing melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. It's this natural signal that helps your body know when to wake up and when to sleep. But when you block out that light, like with heavy blackout curtains, your body doesn't get the message. Your melatonin levels stay high, which means you wake up feeling groggy, tired, and mentally foggy, even if you've had a full 7 or 8 hours of sleep. And this isn't just some theory I'm tossing out. There's actual science behind it. In fact, a study from the Harvard Medical School found that exposure to natural light in the morning is essential for regulating our circadian rhythm. Participants who were exposed to natural sunlight in the early morning hours showed better sleep quality, more alertness, and higher energy levels during the day. On the flip side, those who kept their rooms dark or used heavy curtains that blocked out light had disrupted sleep patterns and reported feeling sluggish and unmotivated. Now you might be thinking, okay, that makes sense, but what's the big deal with my curtains? I like the dark when I sleep. And I get it, I really do. Many people swear by their blackout curtains to create the perfect sleep environment. But here's the catch. While they're great for helping you sleep at night, they can actually confuse your body's natural rhythm when used too much during the day. And that's exactly what Ellena realized. For years, she relied on her heavy curtains to block out the morning sun, thinking it helped her sleep better. But when she started reading more about circadian rhythms and sleep science, she made a change. She opened her curtains as soon as the sun came up. It wasn't easy at first. She loved her cozy, dark room. But she gave it a shot. And after just a few days, she started noticing a difference. Her mornings felt clearer. She woke up with energy. And the mental fog she used to feel in the early afternoon? Gone. But here's the part that really caught her off guard. This wasn't just about sunlight. It was about air. And it turns out, the air she was breathing in her bedroom had been trapped there by those same curtains. If you're finding this eye-opening, and starting to realize the small changes you can make to feel better, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who could benefit. This isn't just about sleep, it's about your health. Alright, we've covered pillows, clutter, toxic fragrances, and even the light that shapes our sleep. But here's something many of us never think about. That small, glowing screen sitting beside you every night. Your phone. How many of you keep your phone next to your bed at night? How many of you even fall asleep with it in your hand? I know it sounds harmless. You might tell yourself, I'm just checking one last thing before bed. It's just a quick scroll. But here's the truth. Your phone is stealing your sleep, your health, and your well-being in ways you may not even realize. Let's break it down. At night, your body produces melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. It signals to your brain, it's time to rest, time to recharge. But here's where the problem starts, blue light. The light emitted by your phone, your tablet, or your computer screen, it mimics daylight. And when it hits your eyes, your brain gets confused. It thinks it's still daytime. This delays melatonin production, which means your body isn't getting the cue to wind down. And that's why you might feel wide awake, even though you're exhausted. You're lying there, in bed, scrolling through social media or checking your emails, and suddenly, an hour has passed. But the real issue isn't just the time lost. It's the impact on your brain. Research has shown that blue light exposure before bed can significantly reduce the quality of your sleep. A study by the Harvard Medical School revealed that even 2 hours of blue light exposure can suppress melatonin production by up to 60%. That's enough to make it harder to fall asleep and keep your body from reaching its deepest, most restorative stages of sleep. And if that's not enough, another study from the University of California found that people who use their phones before bed report lower sleep quality, feeling more tired the next day, and having higher levels of sleep fragmentation, meaning they wake up multiple times throughout the night. So, what's the result? You wake up groggy. Your mind feels foggy. Your body doesn't feel rested. And you think, why am I so tired? I slept for 7 hours. But the truth is, you haven't really slept. Your phone has been keeping you from the deep, restorative sleep your body needs. Ellena had been keeping her phone by her bedside for years. She'd use it to set an alarm, to check messages, and yes, she'd scroll through the news before falling asleep. But when she learned about the research on blue light, she decided to make a simple change. She started charging her phone across the room. No more checking the screen right before bed. She got an old-fashioned alarm clock and left her phone outside the bedroom at night. The result? Her sleep improved dramatically. She woke up feeling refreshed, not groggy. And over time, she noticed something else. Her mood was better. She was more present during the day. She wasn't constantly checking her phone for notifications in the middle of the night. But that wasn't the only surprise. She found out something else, something that could make or break your sleep and health. And it wasn't the phone itself, it was something we all keep close during the night. If this is hitting home for you, and you realize the small things you're doing right before bed might be stealing your rest, take a moment to subscribe. Hit share, because someone you know needs to hear this too. These small changes, like keeping your phone out of your bedroom at night, could make all the difference.